Hi. All right. So I named this training Who You Become Under Pressure. Are you the hammer? Are you the negotiator? Or are you the ghost? And I'm saying it like that on purpose because the moment that you're under pressure, you don't just respond. You become someone. Not because you're fake, but because the pressure that you're feeling puts you into default mode and you're not even thinking, you just boom, there. I say it's 0 to 60, but today we're going to help you figure out what your default is and where you go when you're under pressure. So I want to be clear. Our Pick Your Fight kit is not about a physical fight. It is not about fight or flight or anything to do with the self-defense stuff that I teach in the karate school. However, it is about the mental fight that you're in every single day when you're trying to hold it all together, make everyone behave, keep life moving, keep it organized, and not lose yourself in the process. So the moment that you're in, maybe you yelled again and now you're like, oh, why do I become that person? Or you're thinking, what is freaking wrong with me? Why can't I do this? Everybody on Facebook looks so happy, right? Why is everything a fight? Why can't we do fun things? And if that's you, if those are the things that you're thinking, good, because you're in the right room. In the next 60 seconds, you're going to know exactly where the default you go to and why. And this is not a judgment thing. This is totally a no judgment zone. And if you snap today, no shame. If you had to apologize again, no big deal. If you turned on the screen just so that you could have a moment to yourself and you still felt like, you felt like you needed to do that, no shame either. Because you're not the only one doing it. We're all doing it, right? We're all using these things to give us the moment. And we keep replaying those moments as if those moments make us a bad anything. It's not the moment that's going to do that. So I really want you to hear me that everyone, there's no shame, and it doesn't mean that it can't change. So this is not about being perfect because it doesn't exist. It's about helping you catch yourself and stop the loop and take action with intention. And the win for today, the win for this training is you naming who you become under pressure. And you're going to catch it, that sentence in your head and lips, and it's going to help you flip and turn into something you want to be in that moment, that you choose to be in that moment. And then you're going to pick the one standard that you're going to hold this week. Small and simple, right? This isn't a fantasy. We're not trying to change all your habits, redesign. No. It is a real plan for the next moment when you do the thing that you do. That's the win. So let's get started. So I am not going to tell you to be calmer because who likes to hear that? I'm not going to tell you to just regulate. I'm not going to give you 10 tips that forget the second that your kids are screaming in your face or life blows up in the way that you always expect it to, right? Because that's been your truth. But what's going on right now is not a parenting problem. It's really it's about capacity. You're not getting enough sleep. You're not getting enough help. You're putting too much pressure on yourself and you are having to make too many decisions. And so your brain goes to that default place and then that's default becomes your voice. So are you in a parenting problem or are you in a capacity problem? I really want you to make that distinction for yourself. Because this is how it normally happens. Pressure builds and then something triggers you. And then boom, you snap. I used to say grow a third head, right? And then your third head is doing something, your head over here going, what are you doing? And then the minute that everything happens the way it happens, you react, you regret it, and you promise yourself that you're not going to do that, you're going to do better. And then tomorrow it's the same thing again and again. And if you keeps going, why can't I fix this by myself? It's just because you're trying to fix the yelling after it happens, not before it happens. So you're swimming upstream. So you can become most of us fall into one of three categories. The hammer, which is control it fast. That was my default. The negotiator, you're going to do anything to keep peace at any cost, or you become a ghost. That was my second go-to. You shut down and just survive. So my first go-to would be the hammer. I would boom, knock it out. This is this. or the ghost, I would just give up and send myself to my room. And none of this makes you a bad parent, right? These are just the things that you need in the moment to get yourself together when life gets really loud and really noisy. And so I want you to do right now is I want you to tell me, are you the hammer, the negotiator, or the ghost? You can be like me. You can be two. We're all complex people. We could be more than one thing. But once you can name it, then you can change what happens next. So let's talk about the hammer because some of you, I'm very intimately familiar with this one. You show up when you feel outnumbered, when you feel disrespected, when you feel like nothing works unless you get intense. And inside, it's like, if I'm not intense, nothing happens. I can't let this slide. Why do I have to yell 10 times? And it looks like the command voice, the repeating, the escalating, and consequences flying. And the hammer gets short-term compliance sometimes. But the cost of being the hammer is fear and shutdown and bigger power struggles later, right? Because you feel like, why do I have to be that person? And I used to just feel it drained me. It drains me to be the hammer. It drained me to be the hammer. But being the hammer isn't evil. It's just protecting. You're trying to protect and control. And it's what you use when you don't feel like you have another tool, right? For me, that was what was modeled for me. My dad was always the hammer. He was only the hammer. And, he quoted Attila the Hun, lead, follower, get out of the way. And that was a model I used for a really long time. Or maybe you could be the negotiator. And the negotiator is the one that's trying so hard to not damage the relationship that you're talking yourself into circles. So you're saying, if I say it right, they'll cooperate. I don't want to be the bad guy. I just need us to have one good day. And so you turn into explaining and you bargain and you give chances and you try to be fair. And then you feel disrespected anyway because the boundary is blurry. And then eventually you snap into the hammer. And that's why the negotiators feel exhausted too, because you're constantly working overtime like that duck paddling underwater just to get a result that you don't want anyway. So that's why you're working overtime emotionally and it's exhausting you. Or maybe you're the ghost. Like I said, this is my second go-to, where the ghost is so you got nothing left. Like you're just done. There's like, you just can't handle one more thing. I can't do this tonight. I'm too tired to fight. God, just let him have it. I just need a moment. And so you just check out. You give them the screen, you scroll. And when my kids were growing up, there wasn't really scrolling, but I did watch a lot of reality TV in my room alone with chocolate. Or you go quiet, and then later your guilt comes in like the debt collector. Ah, I'm ruining my kid. What am I doing? Right? And being the ghost isn't lazy. You're just depleted and you just need some place to recharge and recharging however you need. So here's what happens that when you realize who you're being, this is the part that I love, because once you know your default, you stop making it mean that you're broken and you're a bad mom, because you're not. It's just a pattern that you're falling into, right? So once we can name it, then we can choose to be something different. And that's what the Pick Your Fit Kit is all about. It exists so that you can start training who you want to be and stop guessing. So if you already have the kit, great, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't, go to pickyourfight.org and you can get the kit. And I even created something that even if you don't want to like download a kit, if downloading a kit, printing it, filing it feels like too much, I got you. I put it online so you can do this in like 3 minutes. Okay. And the link's in the description. Either way, you're not going to be guessing. You're going to start training into who you want to be. Okay. So I also do a live class the last Wednesday of every month. If you want to do it with me, like if you want to block out time, you choose how you want to get it done. Just get it done. So first move is very, very simple, that your enemy is not your child. Your family is not your enemy. Your enemy is the sentence in your head right before you react, right? Right before you become one of those three things. And if you don't name it, then you'll keep fighting your kid. And then you'll keep fighting your family. When the real fight is just the story that's driving your reaction about it. So The story of what I mean is they don't respect me. I'm failing. If I don't stop this right now, the whole day is going to be ruined, or I can't handle this, or nothing works anyway. So just notice which one hits you in the gut. That's the one. That's your switch that you have to flip. And then the second move, right, is planting your flag, right? And this is where most of us mess up because we try to change 12 things at the same time and wonder why it doesn't work. But no, we're going to pick one flag. And the flag is like, just sounds like in our house, we blank. And it's not a threat. It's just you setting a new standard for your family. And because standards and rules are there, kids actually feel safer when it's clear. Because they're not guessing about what kind of parent you're going to be or the parent that they're going to get today. Okay? So your clear standard helps everyone know where the boundaries are, and it beats a lot of emotion every time. And then the third move is to name your pattern moment. Yelling doesn't usually come out of nowhere, right? It's usually that moment. There's a moment where you always lose it. We all have our things, right? We all have our things that just make us bleh! And this is where move 3 comes in. So it could be like after you've repeated yourself the third time, or turning off the screen, like that's the moment, or like they're always every single night they're stalling at bedtime, or every single morning it's the same routine, yelling, 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 rush, 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 nobody taking responsibility for the stuff. Or the public embarrassment or fear, right? Of what like other people are thinking about you, or when someone else sees like you don't have control of your family, or like, whatever that is for you. But if you can name it, then you can stop being surprised by it. And when you stop being surprised by it, then you can implement your plan for it. And I'm not talking about a perfect plan. I'm not talking about gentle parenting. I'm talking about a real plan for you that fits into your life. And this is the 24-hour challenge. Notice your default when the pressure hits. Just meaning, who shows up? Are you the hammer? Are you the negotiator? Or are you the ghost? Catch that one sentence that flips your switch, like that one thing that's just like too much. That's the one thing that's just, you just can't take it anymore. And then hold one standard, just one flag, just for this week, right? So being aware, choosing the standard that you want, and then in that moment, going to that standard, right? So if you want the fastest next step, go out and go to the app, or you can go pickyourfight.org and download the kit. Give yourself a moment to do it. And if you want to join me for a live class, you can join me for the live class, and I'll walk you through it step by step. But you need to invest the time to do this, whichever way that you do, because this isn't just something that you can read or listen to and forget. Like, this is the thing that's going to change how you show up in your house, and then how your house feels to you every single day. Fewer screaming matches, faster repair, and your kids feeling safe with you. It's going to change everything. You're protecting your family, and you're creating a whole kind of legacy. So that's what I want you to do today. Just one thing. Like that's serious. You've got the tools. You're not alone. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. And yes, you do speak English if you're English speaking. And if you aren't English speaking, you are speaking the language that your children know, right? Even though they look at you like you're crazy. So do it. Let me help you. I can't wait to hear what happens and how things change for you.